Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemon, and in today's video, we'll be sharing with you guys my Gengar EX Pokemon TCG deck profile. We have these really sick Pokemon center sleeves that I use featuring Gengar on them, Dragon Shield clear outer mat on top to double sleeve them. Starting things off, we have 4 copies of Gastly. We have the Mysterious Beam attack for 1 Dark Energy. It's basically a crushing hammer. It says discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, and then the other attack, Suffocating Gas, does 30 damage for 2 Dark Energies. Next up, we have 1 copy of Haunter. I don't think this is the best Haunter available, but it's the one that I have available for me. The other Haunter is pretty good too. I'll have it pop up on screen right here. So choose your choice of Haunter, but we do have just 1 copy of Haunter. This has the Super Poison Breath, an attack that some Pokemon trainers have at Pokemon card tournaments. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, so it does 10 more additional damage in between turns. Last but not least, our main attacker for the deck, Gengar EX. We have 3 copies of Gengar EX, and we have 3 because not only is it the main attacker, but its ability does stack. So first off, let's talk about all the cool things about Gengar. Gengar is 310 HP, so it is a beefy stage 2 Pokemon that has the non-curse ability. It says whenever your opponent attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So if you have 3 Gengars on board, an attachment means you're doing 60 damage to their Pokemon. And then you have its only attack, Tricky Steps, which is really useful because it only costs 2 Dark Energies to hit with this attack. It is 160 damage, and the effect is you may move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench Pokemon. So very good at setting your opponent back a turn of attachment, which also means if they do want to attach again to use their same attack, they're going to take an additional or some more damage, between 20, 40, or 60 damage because of our non-curse effect. So essentially, if you have 3 Gengars on the board and you move an energy and they have to attach an energy, you're doing 220 with the help of the ability. One thing to note too for Gengar's attack is it is quite useful to move energy cards to your opponent's useless Pokemon on their side of the field. That way they can't use cards like Super Rod or Night Stretcher to bring those cards back into their hand or deck. So you can be really annoying, you can be a trickster with the Gengar. This deck or this card obviously pairs very well with Crushing Hammers. However, I don't believe we used Crushing Hammers in our list this time around. The effect of Crushing Hammer would pair perfectly with Gengar's ability, and you could essentially reset your opponent's active Pokemon down to 0 energies on it. Next up, the Surprise Attacker, which is very useful, and our backup attacker you could say as well, Roaring Moon EX. Peep that nice play stamp, oh yeah. We have Frenzy Gouging, really good attack, 2 dark, 1 colorless, just knock out your opponent's Pokemon, and then you're down to 30 health for this moon. And then the other attack, Calamity Storm, for 2 darkness and a colorless, you do 100 damage, and you can discard a stadium in play. If you do, it's a bonus 120. Roaring Moon is a fantastic surprise attacker because there's turns where you can just go attach Dark Patch Janine's Secret Art, and you have a Roaring Moon attack up and running for a surprise Frenzy Gouging or surprise Calamity Storm. Sometimes you can even do attach double Dark Patch and then Pecharunt your moon into the active. I feel like Roaring Moon EX is an auto inclusion for any dark deck out there. Next up, we have 2 copies of Pidgey. We have 1 60 HP Pidgey just to try and get around the Dusclops that would explode and hurt us, and then we also have the 50 HP Pidgey for the Call for Family attack, an attack that's quite useful if we do end up just getting a little desperate and need to set up our board a little bit more. Next up, we have 2 copies of Pidgeot EX. Quick Search is amazing, and we do have a bunch of rare candies in this list, so being able to utilize our 4 rare candies swapping between Gengar and Pidgeot is very good, and Pidgeot just really gets us that missing piece we need every single turn with the help of that Quick Search ability, one of the best abilities in the game. Next, we got Tatsugiri. This is a fun inclusion for the list. You get to search for a supporter card in the top 6 of your deck. So there's a lot of really strong supporter cards in this list. Being able to use Tatsugiri to search it out and then using your Pecharunt to then start attacking with your dark Pokemon is very good. You don't have to have an attachment on the Tatsugiri for it to get out of the active position. So if your Pokemon is knocked out the previous turn, having Tatsugiri be promoted is always the first step. And because we're doing additional random damage on your opponent's Pokemon with our Gengar EX's ability, and we're also not doing some big 1-hit KOs with Gengar, we're often 2-hit KOing with the Gengar's attack, then we're able to just spread some of the damage around to make our next Gengar attack even more meaningful, or we can even slowly knock out baby Pokemon on their side of the field. So Radiant Alakazam to spread some very useful damage counters to help us hit very particular numbers. Next up, we got Pecharunt EX, a very strong support Pokemon that's also an attacker for late game. You got 190 HP, so it is on the weaker side of things. However, Subjecting Chains is one of the best abilities in the game, meaning we don't have to play any switch cards in our deck because our dark Pokemon could just go into the active for free with the help of Pecharunt EX. attacks. And it has the attack Irritated Outburst. This is an attack my girlfriend uses on me, not playing Pokemon. It costs 2 dark energies and it does 60 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if you pair this attack with the help of some Radiant Alakazam shenanigans, your Pecharunt can do some big 1-hit KOs. For example, if your opponent has taken 4 prize cards, you're swinging for 240. Next up, we got Fezandipiti EX, another strong dark Pokemon out there that's like in every single deck in the Pokemon game right now. And it also has the Cruel Arrow attack, which honestly does come up every now and then. Because of the fact we can use Dark Patch, Janine's Secret Art, and Attachment for turn, being able to snipe a Pokemon for 100 damage is very good, especially if we have opponent's Pokemon in the active, which we can just leave there stranded. Rotom V in here as well for that instant charge ability. It's also very strong as a Forest Seal Stone target. For energy cards, we have 9 Dark Energies, no other typing of energies in this list, so since we're only attacking with Dark Energies, or even our Pidgeot can attack too. On to supporters, we have 4 copies of Arven, one of the best trainer cards in the game. We have quite a few useful tools in this deck, and all the items are quite strong as well. So similar to Miraidon, where we always want to grab a really nice item and tool, typically we can grab like an Ultra Ball or Rare Candy, and then whatever else our Arven didn't grab us, our Pidgeot EX can grab, or hopefully we drew into it with our Rotom V's instant charge. Next up, we have 3 copies of Iono. Iono is also very, very good, and if we're moving around your opponent's energies on the board, if we're able to disrupt their hand and make them have no energies in their hand, that's also quite useful as well. Even Judge would probably be even stronger, but late game, if your opponent really needs to have an attachment per turn and you Iono them down to like a 1 or 2 card hand and they just can't draw the energy, Iono just feels diabolical. And yeah, I love Iono. Really, really good card. It allows you to see a lot of extra cards as well, rather than discarding them with like a Professor's Research. So if you're out of Arvens or out of really good cards you can search with Arven, Iono becomes a really strong card. And of course, it is searchable with the help of Pidgeot's Quick Search. Next up, we have 1 Open Mouth YouTuber, aka Boss's Orders. Just being able to attack what you want is really, really useful. And then our last supporter in the list is Janine's Secret Art. It says, choose up to 2 of your Dark Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a basic Dark Energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. If you attach an energy to your active Pokemon in this way, it is now poisoned, which also does come in handy in some cases. So you can do some additional damage with your Binding Mochi ability. But a lot of the times it doesn't even matter because we're going to be using Pecharunt to move your Pokemon into the active. So it's going to be poisoned anyways with the Pecharunt's ability. Tool cards, we have 4 tools in total. We got 1 copy of Binding Mochi, a very, very strong tool card. It says attacks used by the poison Pokemon this card is attached to does an additional 40 more damage. So very strong, pairs really well with our Gengar for hitting 200, and then it also pairs well with our Roaring Moon as well. Next up, we got Forest Seal Stone, just obviously given we're playing our Arven Rare Candy deck, and then you can just throw this onto your Rotom V. Technical Machine Devolution, say we have spread out enough damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon in a very good way to do a little board wipe play, then we can just do that board wipe with the Devolution. The last tool card in this deck that honestly you could run 2 copies of because it's quite good, it pairs really well with Gengar, is Handheld Fan. It says if the Pokemon this card is attached to is an active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if the Pokemon is knocked out, move an energy card from the attacking Pokemon to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So it's essentially the same thing as our Gengar EX's effect. However, it is when your Gengar gets hit into. So you're moving an energy with the Gengar's attack, and then you're moving another energy if your opponent hit into your Gengar with this on. So quite an evil, diabolical combination. Next up for our A spec, we chose Unfair Stamp. I really like the idea of moving the energies off of your opponent's active Pokemon and then kind of just bricking them with the Unfair Stamp if they knocked out your previous Pokemon. It's also quite good because we play a lot of like single prize Pokemon, so if they just knock out our single prize Pokemon on the first turn of attacking, then we can hit them with the Arven Unfair Stamp, get the Seal Stone onto the Rotom V, and then hopefully brick them, but also hopefully draw into some really strong cards off of the Unfair Stamp to keep the pressure on. Next up, because we really want to evolve our Gastlys and our Pidgeys into their larger counterparts, we have 4 copies of Buddy Puffin, one of the best cards in the game, followed up by 2 Nest Ball. The Nest Balls, I feel like you could up the count of these potentially as well, just because you really want to see the Rotom, you want to see the Pecharunt on the board. Then we also got 3 copies of Ultra Ball as well. That's why we didn't need to play as many Nest Ball, and then we already have a bunch of these these Buddy Poffins as well. But 3 copies of Ultra Ball also makes a lot of sense because we're playing a stage 2 deck. We really want to be able to evolve into our Pidgeot and our Gengar as quick as we can. Ultra Ball also pairs very well with the Dark Patch because you can delete a Dark Energy from your hand, send it to this discard, and it has great synergy with the Dark Patch. Speaking of Dark Patch, we have 3 copies of Dark Patch. It says attach a basic Dark Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Dark Pokemon. So really easy way for getting your Gengar or your other Dark Pokemon attacks swinging just out of nowhere. 4 copies of Rare Candy. Because we only have 1 copy of Haunter and we're not playing Pidgeotto, Rare Candies are going to be our main ways to evolve into our stage 2 Pokemon such as Gengar and Pidgeot. However, there is room in this list if you really wanted to. You could up the counts of Haunter and even throw in a Pidgeotto if you wanted to, and throw in an Evo TM if you wanted to go that route. Also, I would like to mention Darkrai V-Star is a really great addition to this deck if you want to go a 1-1 line of Darkrai V, Darkrai V-Star. Being able to reuse things like Unfair Stamp or a Rare Candy after you've used it once is just really good. I like the idea of comboing Darkrai V-Star with Pidgeot EX. You could just reuse the Rare Candy Ultra Ball that you used previously. For recovery, we have 1 copy of Super Rod. Very useful to get those Gengars back into the deck so we can evolve back into them, along with getting our one-off copies of things like Roaring Moon and Pecharunt and Fez back into our deck. We also want to make sure we have energies in our deck for our Janine Secret Art, so Super Rod can guarantee we have those dark energies back into our deck. Earthen Vessel in here as well for our energy search capabilities. We do have 4 copies of Arven, and being able to search out energy with Earthen Vessel is quite useful with Arven. You can also pair Earthen Vessel by discarding a dark energy from your hand, so you can have energies ready for Dark Patch and then just get 2 more dark energies from your deck. So Earthen Vessel is a must-have. Then we also have 1 Counter Catcher for some additional gust, and it is an Arven searchable card, and we're usually playing from behind with this deck, meaning Counter Catcher is typically a live card. You could even potentially take out the boss's orders completely and throw in a second Counter Catcher. So here's a look at the full 60 card list one more time. I want to say Gengar EX isn't the most competitive deck out there. It's definitely one of those rogue fun decks that isn't going to see a lot of competitive play. However, if you really want to play Gengar, this is one of the fun ways you can play Gengar and have it included in your life in the Pokemon trading card game. I will try and upgrade this deck and continue to have it evolve and have it grow alongside the meta as the meta shifts. We're going to try and keep Gengar as competitive as possible, but this is definitely one of those like C tier, B minus tier decks. It's not a deck that's going to ever be taken super seriously. It's kind of like a control deck in a way because you're manipulating the way the board functions by moving energies around and stuff like that. But I feel like if you do really want to play a dark deck that is really strong, I think Hydreigon might be your better choice. I'm just a sucker for Gengar. I love playing the game for fun, and so being able to play with my boy Gengar, it just makes me happy. And sometimes, you know, happiness is the most important thing. Feedback, criticisms, comments, all that stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. With that said, we're going to hop into Pokemon Trading Card Game Live and get some games done in quick play, because right now we're doing a Miraidon Road to Arceus, Miraidon only Road to Arceus series. I want to mention one small change we made to the list. We put in the better Haunter that has the attack Dark Slumber, which puts your opponent to sleep instead of the one with super bad breath, because I'd rather have my opponent not be able to attack on a coin flip than deal extra damage in between turns with poison. So that's the only change from this list. We will play this list again and again more in the future. I will probably add more Crushing Hammers, or Crushing Hammers in general, along with more fans, because that just really helps with the main fun point of the deck, disrupting your opponent's energies and making them suffer that way. So here we go. Let's see how this game goes. 2 mulligans here, and they definitely know we're playing Gengar. We'll put Alakazam in the active, since I'd rather have a Pidgey evolve than not have a Pidgey evolve. I fear we have a slow player already against us. They're taking 20-second actions just looking at things before the game starts, so expect to see some cuts and stuff throughout the video for editing purposes. Alright, we got the Nest Ball for Lugia coming in. Lugia Dodrio. Interesting combination. I guess that's what you're going to find when you hit these lower ranked quick play games. Until we get to the Arceus rank, we're going to see some definitely very weird builds of decks and stuff. So it is going to be fun to see some new, refreshing ideas, but a lot of these ideas are probably not very refined, so I wouldn't expect the most competitive games out there. Now, Lugia is an issue for this deck, because if they do use Mist Energy, it turns off Gengar EX's effect of the attack, which is quite annoying. So we do have to get rid of Mist Energy when we can. We actually I used to actually play Crushing Hammer in my list to specifically deal with things like Mist Energy, but because of the decline in Lugia, I've decided to take the Crushing Hammer, or Enhanced Hammer out, because Crushing Hammer is a coin flip, Enhanced Hammer is an automatic discard of a special energy. So we'll see what they do here. I think they're just thinking if they want to pass or not pass and do nothing. All right, we got a Pidgey. We got Buddy Poffin. We'll grab a Gastly and another Gastly. Start setting these up. And that's one of the really nice things I like about Gengar is you can have multiple Gengars and stuff set up, and it benefits you because the damage of the effect does stack. So sometimes some decks don't really need to have multiple of the same attacker set up time and time again, but this is different. This is different. So let's go ahead and grab our we can go Pecharunt here to then feed the Gastly up and then try and get rid of that jet energy, or we can go with the a safe play and instant charge. I feel like we don't need to go for the aggressive play, so here we're just going to go for the instant charge. But with the we have the Arven in hand for next turn too, which is going to give us a lot of value. And we'll go ahead and Dark Patch the other Gastly. That way both Gastlys can become a threat going into the next turn. One of the big benefits of Gengar EX is its attack is really cheap, only 2 dark. So by having each Gastly loaded up, all we have to do is attach a single energy for turn and throw it into the active and start using tricky steps. Now we have a really good hand right here. All we need to do is go Arven for a Nest Ball so we can get our Pecharunt, and then we can go Rare Candy Gengar attach, and then we can just start having a lot of fun. There's also a World 2 where we can go Arven grabs us a Seal Stone as well, and the Seal Stone could give us an additional out to try and get Pidgeot EX on the board as well. So we'll see how we play this out here. Zooming draw, really cool ability. You put 1 damage counter on your Dodrio and then you draw a card. This card pairs very well with Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. That's another deck I want to try and get up for you guys this holiday season. I'm a big fan of Hisuian Zoroark. We got the Therapeutic Energy attachment, and it's looking like we're in a pretty good spot because they don't have any Archeops in the discard yet. Is this going to discard an Archeops? Or are we not going to get there just quite yet? And no Archeops gets discarded. We discarded a Lugia V-Star and a, what was that, Capturing Aroma or something else? Okay, Lugia and Defiance Band, so they can get an Archeops. And it looks like they're going to maybe read the wind that Archeops away. And if they don't discard the Archeops here, I'd be just like, what's going on? But there's the Archeops discard. All right, our turn now. We can go Arven. Arven is going to grab us. We don't have our Seal Stone available, so we're just going to go straight for the Gengar attacks. We'll go Nest Ball. We'll also go ahead and grab a Handheld Fan. We'll go Gengar. This Evolve. And we want to keep our Gengar. So basically, there was a world where we could evolve our Gastly after it gets poisoned from the Pecharunt, so we could remove the poison. That's always something you can play around if you don't want your Pokemon poisoned. But because we do have the tool, the Mochi, we want our Gengar to be poisoned. So that's why we're not going to do anything there. And we can actually move this damage counter over if we wanted to. So do we want to do that? We're swinging for 200. Yeah, let's move 1 damage counter from this Dodrio over to the Lugia. And then we'll go Tricky Steps. And then Tricky Steps, we'll get rid of, or we're going to move, I should say. We'll move this Therapeutic Energy to the Mew. Now, that might be a little sus, because basically, they could just use a DTE on the Mew to attack, but I would rather have that Lugia V-Star not be able to use its Tempest Dive attack. So let's see what they do here. Typically, Lugia V-Star with the Mist Energies are very annoying for Gengar, but it looks like they're just not really having a hot start here to begin with, which is something we're going to definitely try and take advantage of. All right, there's the Lugia V-Star coming in. Are we going only single chops? If we're going single chops, we're in a really good spot here. Another really good thing for counterplay for this Lugia deck is the Archeops attaches its energies from the deck. So we're not going to be able to use basically non-curse as our damage acceler, our bonus damage, you could say. So yeah, Lugia just hard counters Gengar. But if they have a hard time setting up, they have a hard time setting up here. All right, I'm assuming they're going to grab a DTE and something else, maybe a gift. DT in gift would make a lot of sense here. Is a Mist Energy and Jet. So they're not going to be able to pull off an attack unless they attach from hand, which they're probably going to. There's the gift energy there. Okay, so they're swinging for a nice 220. And the Gravity Mountain does reduce our health by 30. So this is actually the first game ever where I've encountered Gravity Mountain actually affecting my decks. Or my deck and Gengar in particular here. So we're not going to be able to move energies because Mist is on it, but we will be able to secure the knockout here, which is really big. And they're deciding if they want to discard the stadium. I think you absolutely keep the stadium. There we go. And we can go here. Arven gets us. Let's go. Oh, there's a cool play. Oh no, Devo would be blocked by Mist Energy. So yeah, let's just go Earthen Vessel here, and also grab ourselves a. Let's just double check what Pokemon are in our list. So we could go Earthen Vessel and then go Gengar. Yeah, we can set up a Gengar that way. And the next turn we have Unfair Stamp. I think we just keep the Unfair Stamp in our hand, preloaded. And what other valid targets? We got the Tevo Technical Machine Devo here. We will attach here, and we're going to go ahead and use Painful Spoons, and we'll just move some damage counters over to this Dodrio. Hopefully we can knock out Doduo. If we can knock out that Doduo before it evolves just by using Alakazam, I think that's super ideal. And yeah, Mist Energy is going to turn off. It should turn off, right? Mist Energy should turn it off. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, that's one of the big benefits that this deck does have against decks that do have lower energy counts, such as Charizard EX. You're able to just prevent their fire energies from going into their discard pile, meaning they can't use cards like Super Rod to recover those energy cards and put them back into the deck. So it does. Gengar is definitely a control style of deck. I know some players don't like control, but I'm really enjoying playing a lot of different control decks like Luxray EX, Gengar EX, Espathra EX. They're not the typical control you might think of right away, where you think of Snorlax or Pidgeot EX control. But these are the kind of decks that are really fun because you have these fun little gimmicks and stuff that you can use to try and slow down your opponents. And depending on how well you're able to meta call and sort of game the decks you're expecting to play, you build your control style deck accordingly and try and lock in on those weaknesses. So here, I'd really like to knock out their Mew EX or their Archeops. But I think we just go for the Archeops next here. Or we might just have to go for this threat of the Dodrio. The Dodrio is a very valid threat. It's going to just keep scaling its damage higher and higher as we go by. There is a world where we're able to pull off a Devo play if they go up to 70 damage. We just Devo them and they get knocked out. So we might end up doing that. So we're going to probably save this Technical Machine Devo here. Another Primal Turbo. So they loaded up the Mew EX, and it looks like we'll be able to get a really good Unfair Stamp off here. And that's another combo I like as well, Unfair Stamp, and then moving the energies around. So if they don't have an energy, like they just can't draw into the energy, then they're going to potentially whiff their next attack too. So that is a play. Unfair Stamp with Gengar can definitely steal some games that way. All right, we'll promote our Gastly and see how this goes. Arven, okay. So we can go Arven here. Arven gets this Ultra Ball. And then we can go Ultra Ball away, Technical Devo, and a Gastly. Grab Gengar. Rare Candy Gengar in. We'll Dark Patch the Pecharunt, because our Pecharunt might be one of our last attackers. Hit him with that Unfair Stamp. And now we can set up another Gastly, which is pretty good. We don't have any more Gastlys left. We'll set up the... I think we'll set up the Tatsugiri here. And we'll attach the turn onto this Pecharunt. And we have the knockout already, so let's go ahead and let's use Alakazam. And we can actually move this energy off the Dodrio and put it onto this Lugia. Prep it for later. And they're gonna have gift energy activate, which is annoying. Oh, but we can deny gift energy by moving it onto the Mew. That way gift energy's effect doesn't go off. Oh, that's actually really cool. I've never had that happen where you can just move the gift energy, and so the effect of gift energy does not resolve. I like that. I like that. Here we're at odd prizes, and it looks like their only attacker will have to be the Mew. So if we just get hit by Mew's genome hacking to copy our tricky steps, we're not in a bad position because we can just return KO the Mew with the help of our dark energy. Now they don't have legacy energy on the board yet, so there is a world 2 where they put the legacy energy onto this Mew from the Archeops. So we'll see what they do here. I've never seen so many therapeutic energies though on in a Lugia list. It looks like there's like 4 therapeutic energies, which is kind of nutty. All right, we got the zooming draw. Kind of reminds me of when Rosie gets zoomies. You're just zooming. And we figured out the other day, or my sister told me the other day, how to unlock zoomies from Rosie. Basically, she just has to be in the backyard playing and running around and having a good time, and you just gotta catch her off guard and surprise her. Like you gotta spook her. You gotta boo her, and yeah, and then she'll unlock her zoomies, and it's pretty funny. So she goes crazy. All right, Primal Turbo. Here we go. Is the legacy energy in the list? If they don't have legacy energy, we're in a great spot to take a nice 2-prize KO here. Good, no legacy. Okay. So we can just knock out the Mew and then take out a 1-prizer to close out the game. There's the Mist Energy. Non-curse to draw an extra card. Or not non-curse to draw an extra card. Non-curse to up their damage. Which honestly could backfire on us because it's technically helping out Dodrio. And we got the genome hacking to copy our one and only attack. Man, this is a really slow Lugia player. They take like 8 seconds to just use our own attack of tricky steps. Alright. Are you moving our dark energy to any Pokemon? If you're smart, probably to our Tatsugiri. Oh, onto our Pidgey. Okay. And then we can move an energy off their Pokemon. We'll move this gift energy onto their Dodrio. That way we don't unlock the gift energy. And then now we can go Dark Attach. We can go Iono. We really want to get Boss, so we can just boss the last target up. No Boss, no luck there. Let's go ahead and let's move some damage from Dodrio over to Lugia V. In case they attack with the Lugia V, that way we just have a easy knockout there. And we'll go Tricky Steps. And we will not move these energies. There's no point, so we'll just leave them there. Now all we have to do is basically our last attack is checkmate on board. We got Pecharunt, and they're going to go down to 2 prizes, meaning that we do 240 damage with Pecharunt EX, which will knock out all the Pokemon they have on their side of the field, including Lugia V-Star if they evolve into a Lugia V-Star. Ah, there's actually a way we can remove the Mist Energy as well from the Dodrio. If it hits us, we can move it with the fan that we have. So yeah, this fan is really, really good. I think when we update our Gengar list later on this winter season, once we upload the Gengar Ultra Premium Collection video, we'll probably put in another fan. But there we go. We got the Lugia V coming in from the Jet Energy. And all we have to do is our win condition is KO this with a Pecharunt. And we have game. And we got Seal Stone as well, so we could Seal Stone for Boss to knock out one of their 1-prizers too. But yeah, Pecharunt is all we need to seal the deal here. Wait, they don't even have knockout yet. Okay, well we can just oh, okay, we'll have to Seal Stone here in this case. Since they did not knock us out, we'll go Star Alchemy, and we'll grab our 1 copy of Boss. And Boss will clean up the Archeops. And that is a GG right there. Sir Jojo 96. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. First game with Gengar, and we got the dub. Let's see if we can keep this win streak alive for the video. Game number 2. We got Satyphon. Tails, alright. Ooh, Fez starts. Okay. But at least we have double popping. That's going to help us out. We can set up a whole bunch of Gastlys. And it looks like we're playing against this iconic Arcanine deck that keeps popping up in quick play. Maybe I should update the Arcanine deck profile. If you guys would like to see an Arcanine deck profile updated, let me know. We did one a long time ago. I never ended up uploading the gameplay video. I was doing too many edits with it and like really getting way too creative with it. But Arcanine was a deck I did dabble with. I did a short form deck profile for that. But yeah, Arcanine is in a really good spot right now too. So we might have some fun with that. Arcanine is definitely one of my favorite like original 151 Pokemon. I really remember that like iconic Arcanine artwork. I think it's just from base set where it's just like running in a field all happy and whatnot. All right, we got double Nest Ball. So they're getting a really strong start and going first here. Hopefully they do well and keep this game nice and close. And we have a really good turn one as well. We have the option of playing Arven or Iono. We'll definitely play the Arven, that's for sure. Turn one Arven is always very good. All right, here we go. Turn one. And another third Iono. We got a third Iono. That's ridiculous. All right, we'll go Gastly and Pidgey. Next buddy poppin'. We can go Gastly and I'm trying to think if we will need... What's prized here? What's prized here? We might be able to go Arven for Nest Ball and Seal Stone. I think that might be the play here. So let's grab our... We have Rotom in deck? I think we have Rotom. Yeah, we got Rotom. We got Seal Stone. All right, cool. So we'll do all this. I'm not even too sad that we didn't get to attach this turn. It's not that big of a deal. And we don't have a Pecharunt set up, so that could set us back later. We'll just drop this tool in, and we'll go... Ooh, you know what? Yeah, let's just do instant charge. I'm thinking like, do I Seal Stone for Earthen Vessel to get an energy on the board? But honestly, I think we should be good. We have the Seal Stone, so we could easily Seal Stone for a rare candy for our Gengar, and then hit him with an Iono maybe. We'll see what we do though. I probably could have played that turn one a wee bit better, but honestly, I don't think we're going to get punished too hard at these lower ranks. Rare candy EXP share. Also, I do think our TM Devolution is going to come very handy in this particular game. But the fact that Gastly has 90 HP is really high, and these Charmanders at 60, so we might be able to knock those out pretty easily. Okay, we're definitely not playing Iono because their hand is dead. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away a Gastly and an Iono here. Grab our Pidgeot. And now we can go Star Alchemy for rare candy or Arven. We're not playing Iono. We're going to play another Arven. So let's go Arven. Arven gets us rare candy. And we'll go TM Devo. Now we can go rare candy Pidgeot. And I think we're also going to go rare candy a Gengar out as well while we're at it. And I would like to see some very big, what is it, non-curse. I want to see some big non-curses. I'd like to see like 6 damage counters placed on their Pokemon each attachment. That'd be kind of sick. And this Charizard from Pokemon Go is not a Pokemon that comes up very often. It has each basic fire energy attached to your Pokemon, provides 2 fire. So it's a energy multiplier. So now, there's the 20, and they're able to use Bright Flame if they wanted to. Alright, they got the Research top deck. They discarded EXP share, which is very strange. I would assume you just put that EXP share on anything at all. But alright, we got the Evolution and a pass. Alright, now it's our turn. Let's get the ball rolling here. We'll go Pidgeot. And then we're gonna go Janine's Secret Art? No. I'm trying to think here if it's worth going Vessel. I think we start going Vessel here. And we can get Vessel with Arven. Oh, we could get double Dark Patch and send up a Gengar. I wish we had our Pecharunt on the bench. That's definitely an error you could say I made there, not having the Pecharunt available. Alright, let's go ahead and just start setting up our Janine. Let's just get some energies rolling on our Pokemon here. We'll go 1, 2. Oh, what am I saying? We have attack on board. We can go attach, and then we can go attach to this Gengar, manual retreat into the Gengar here. Then we can Dark Patch the Gengar, or Gastly, and then Tricky Steps for knockout. This is another deck that, in theory, does counter Gengar, because we have the advantage of you know, moving these energies around. But when these fire energies are worth 2, it's it's gonna be not as effective. So we're fighting 2 decks that have great matchups in the Gengar. This matchup probably wouldn't be as great for them if they didn't have this Charizard in the deck, but they got the Pokemon Go Charizard sauce in here. Alright, we got the Arven. Surely we'll see an Ultra Ball for Charizard EX and something else. And they're going to start swinging into us. Defiance Band 2, really big grab. Alright, what are these sacrifices? Fire and Defiance Band. Okay, we're just never using tools on their side of the field, I guess. They're allergic to tools. Arcanine EX. So maybe they don't have Charizard EX in their deck. That seems very weird. And they're putting another energy onto the Arcanine when they could have just attached return to Charmeleon, count it as 2, retreat, and swing it. I don't know what's happening, dude. What is going on here? Alright, let's start off with an Arven for a rare candy. We'll go rare candy. This one. We'll evolve the other. We'll go Pidgeot. And here, let's go ahead and... Do we have any Darks in the discard? No. Okay, we'll just Ultra Ball. And we're not going to play it yet, because we're just going to Ultra Ball for the Gengar on this next turn. Thin out some cards out of our deck in case we get hit with a Disruptive Iono. That feels so weird that that's one of those turns where we have Pidgeot's Quick Search, and it just isn't very valuable because they aren't doing too much. Another Arcanine coming in. I'm assuming that's the one they grabbed from the previous turn. We got the Fire Energy, Non-Curse. Oh, so technically, because their Fire Energies count as 2, the requirement for Bright Flame is discard 2 fires. They just have to discard 1 Fire Energy because of the Charizard. So some really cool synergy there. But now they're going to have an extra attachment because we're going to be able to move one of these fires over to that Charizard in a second. And of course, there's a world where we just retreat we just run away and retreat. We can even gust up this. We can gust up this Arcanine, and then that way, we can have it trapped in the active. Or we're grabbing this Gengar here. Now we're gonna have 3 Gengars on the board, so triple non-curse. Then we got Quick Search. And then we'll grab a Dark Energy. It feels so weird Quick Searching for a Dark Energy, but we just got it set up. And we're gonna move this Fire Energy over to the Charizard there on the bench. This Charizard is also very easy to knock out. If they do a single attachment from hand, then it's in range for Gengar to knock it out. Oh, I made a big misplay here. They can use Raging Claws and knock me out. So, definitely fumbled that. Triple non-curse. Oh! All we need now is Radiant Alakazam, and we can move 20 over to knock out that Arcanine. So really big play we can do on this next turn here. So we'll promo Pidgeot here, because it's our nice free retreater. We're going to go ahead and drop our Radiant Alakazam in, and go Painful Spoons. We'll move 2 damage counters to the Arcanine to knock it out. There we go. And then we can go attach for turn onto our Gengar. Let's go Unfair Stamp here. Hit them with that Unfair Stamp. Now we unfortunately don't have more copies of Boss's Orders, and we don't play PAL Pad, which is also a little annoying too. So we can go Dark Patch the Gengar. Now both Gengars are ready to go. We'll go ahead and use our... We'll go Quick Search here. Quick Search gives us a Dark Patch. There's definitely a line where I think we've used 3 Dark Patch. Oh, 2? Okay, so I think we're gonna be short for using our like surprise Roaring Moon attack, but that's fine. We'll get rid of those 2 cards. We'll grab a Tatsugiri. And here we can just do a simple tricky steps. Hit him where it hurts. We'll move a fire to this Charizard. And now they're going to need a fire energy from that Unfair Stamp to 2 to hurt us. And if they do hurt us, we just win. Because we'll take the 2 prize knockout here. And they're going to be stuck with Arcanine in the active as well, I believe, too. They could retreat and attack with the Charizard. I think that's the play. Alright, EXP share. So they can attack us with the Raging Claw. We hurt them for 40 with the help of Non-Curse. And then they attack, and then we return KO, and we win the game. Alrighty. That was a good second game. Pretty happy with that. Strange deck, though. Like, if they just had a single Charizard EX, they would definitely be in a very, very good position with 1 Charizard EX. But I think this fire... So the fire times 2? Oh, it's each basic fire energy. So yeah, your Charizard EX only needs 1 fire to attack if you have that Pokemon Go Charizard on the board as well. Alright, that was game number 2. Another weird one. Apologies for the lower level opponents because of the rank reset. But once we start playing some more Miraidon games, we'll climb up the ladder. And our competition should be a lot more lethal than what we've seen these last 2 games. And another fire type trainer. I feel like it's going to also be another Charizard Arcanine. That seems to be what we keep fighting in quick play. Maybe it's one of those decks that I believe the game just gives you when you start playing. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why we see so many of these Charizard Arcanine decks again and again and again. Alright, our opponent will be going first once again. Definitely worth considering putting Technical Machine Evo in here. But we would definitely want to put a second Haunter or a Pidgeotto in here. Okay, Arcanine and Bidoof. Or sorry, Growlithe and Bidoof, which is Arcanine Babero. I think that's, I believe that's how we built Arcanine previously. Alright, we get a Attach Pass. No, Buddy Poffin. Alright, what else are they cooking? Are they dropping in some Charizards in here as well? We're going to find out, or Charmanders. We'll find out if they have some Charmanders in a second here. There we go. Alright, double Charmander action. Playing these games right now are so boring to me, in my opinion, so I'm really excited to hop on my Miraidon games after we're done filming this video. I want to fight some more meta stuff. I want to fight some more challenging players. But we have a really nice turn 1 here. Oh my goodness. Double Poffin. Love to see it. We'll drop the Rotom in. We'll go 1 Gastly here. And we'll leave Tatsugiri out because I'd like to get a Pecharunt on the board this time to show you how that works. And we can go attach for turn onto this Pidgey, because if worst comes to worst, we can actually call for family the Pecharunt out. And of course we have instant charge too. But I know that this Pidgey is not going to be getting knocked out on this next turn. We'll go Ultra Ball away these 2. Grab our Pecharunt. And now we can just get a nice instant charge on the board. We'll throw in a Gastly there. I'd rather have a Pidgey live on the bench 100% than have a Gastly or have a Pidgey get knocked out to 100%. But what am I saying again? Their deck, I think Arcanine's first attack is 30 damage base and then 10 for each damage counter on it. So we weren't even going to get knocked out by the Arcanine if it were to evolve. Alright, we got the Magma Bazin coming in. And a pass of the turn. Arven for Ultra Ball, Sealstone. And get our whole board evolved. So let's do that, shall we? Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, and Puffin. Gives us our Pidgeot. Candy the Pidgeot. And honestly, now I think it might have been just more worth it if we didn't had we had not did that player retreated. I think we could have just kept our boy in the active. And then here we'll go quick search. We'll go. Oh, we could also discard the, like, try and discard the energy here too. Okay, let's just go rare candy and then get the Gengar off of the Star Alchemy. And then we're gonna also just set up a different Gengar because this one's gonna get smacked in a second. We'll evolve here. And we can go ahead and instant charge here too. Yeah, so we definitely should have left the Pidgeot in the active, because we could have just knocked out their Growlithe, essentially. We wouldn't have known that they couldn't evolve into Arcanine, but we would have been able to knock out this Growlithe with just the Pidgeot attack. And they get a lot of value, too, from the Magma Bazin Stadium, so we could discard the Stadium, too, with Pidgeot's attack. Alright, we got the Arven. Surely they'll grab an Ultra Ball and a tool that they'll probably just use as Ultra Ball fodder and go straight into Arcanine. Or if they're feeling greedy, they could go for the Bibarel here because they do have the knockout with the Growlithe, but they do have the option of making sure their Growlithe survives an extra turn by evolving into Arcanine. Alright, we got the Ultra Ball coming in, Magma Bazin and Arven. Are we seeing Bibarel for +2 draw, or are we going to see Arcanine for the KO here? Bibarel, alright, so I like that. They're going for the more long-term beneficial play, and will Bibarel draw some cards? Ooh, we got the PAL pad. I think they have only used Arvens. Yeah, so they're just going to throw one Arven back into their deck. So they just wanted to thin out the PAL pad out of their hand, so Bibarel could draw more cards. You, of course, want to see Arcanine this turn, I think, pretty badly now that I really think about it. And then just attack with the first attack it has. And another thing that is also quite annoying is, oh, there's the Charizard EX. Different kind of Charizard EX. Is the Magma Bazin attaches energy from the discard pile. So their energy acceleration comes from the discard, which means Gengar's effect is no use, right? So this is another case where our control aspect of Gengar's ability just gets worked around. And that's one of the problems with Gengar EX. It's that it has to be energies from hand. So if your opponent plays a deck, for example, that, you know, like that's Gardevoir EX, or that's Lugia, where these energies are getting accelerated from other places other than their hand, that's no good. However, you do have a good, you know, in Shenpao, for example, those energies come from hand, but there's a good chance they're knocking you out with that Shenpao. All right, so here we're definitely going to want to knock them out with the Pidgeot, so that we can get rid of that Magma Bazin Stadium. So there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll use... Ooh. What I Earthen Vessel? I should have Earthen Vesseled away... Not Gastly. I should have Earthen Vesseled away the Dark away. And they could use the Dark Patch. It's okay though. Slight misplay there. We'll hit him with the Iono. Nice. That's a pretty good Iono for us. We'll discard these cards here. Grab our fellow Gengar. Evolve manually to that. Get the tool on the board. And we got Quick Search as well. Quick Search can grab Handheld Fan. That'll be definitely annoying if the Charizard or something else attacks us, which we're going to anticipate. And now we can Ballistery Wind, Ballistery Wind. And we'll discard the Stadium. Not an attack that we use very often, but when they have some really strong stadiums, we definitely want to get them off of the board as quick as we can. And one really nice thing is we do have the return knockout, essentially, or return attack built in, because we can just free retreat with our Pidgeot EX and use a card like Janine's Secret Art and attach, or Janine's and Dark Patch, and now our Gengar is swinging. Or if we're able to go 3, we could get Frenzy Gouging going on this Charizard as well and knock it out that way. So there's the attached return. Non-curse ×2. Pretty annoying. There's plus 40 on the board all of a sudden. We got the Growlithe coming in hot. That Charizard is pretty cool. It's a shame that it's just not used because, well, this is better Charizards available. And we helped them fulfill the damage cannon requirement to do a plus 100. So they're going to swing for 160 because we helped it out. Usually they have to use Magma Basin to throw that 20 damage on the Charizard, and then it gets to attack essentially for free. But our Magma Basin does help them out big time there. They got the Arcanine in hand. They're going to get a nice Barrel, Industrious, and Scissors in a moment to draw 3 cards. Here they come. And we don't have any Darks in the discard right now. We got the Charmeleon. So if we're able to top deck, I don't even know what we want here. We'll see. If we can get Earthen Vessel. Yeah, if we're able to get something like Earthen Vessel, and then that'd be huge, because then we could just Frenzy Gouging. Okay, we couldn't get it. We will go... We'll go... Quick Search. Oh, I like this play. We can go Janine's Secret Art here. And then we can remove that energy, or we can go for the Barrel with the boss play. I want to go for this Gengar attack here instead. So we'll go manually retreat into this Gengar. Janine's Secret Art. Put them on these two. Then attach. And then tricky steps. Tricky steps to move that energy off of the Zard. And now they're going to have to show me a manual attachment onto this Charizard if they want to attack. But yeah, the Radiant Alakazam in this list definitely has a lot of potential because you can just get these like nice surprise knockouts by moving 2 damage counters over, which is not something they'll necessarily be able to anticipate, right? They'll assume their Pokemon is safe. And then again, they're just helping us more and more by attaching from hand. So each time they attach from hand, they're helping our win condition, setting up potentially nice one-shot KOs with a Gengar. For example, if they had like 220 and our Gengar has the Mochi, then we can just swing for 200, and then that energy they attach is what will basically be the nail in the coffin from earlier. But there we go, another W, this time against Charizard EX Fire type and a Arcanine. All right. Let's do one more here. We'll do one more game here, and then we're going to start filming the Miraidon series some more. Hopefully we don't hit another Charizard. All right, we got Dark. We got a Dark deck of some sort. This will be good. Battle of the Dark decks. It'd be even cooler if it could be a Gengar mirror match. But we'll see what Dark deck they're on. I think Hydreigon is much more popular right now. And again, Hydreigon is even like a deck that Tord Reklov, the GOAT, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan you could say he's the LeBron James of Pokemon. Tord played Hydreigon to the Toronto Regionals. He didn't pop off with it. He had some hard matchups like Raging Bolt, but it is a deck we're gonna try out. And we're gonna use a mixture of his list or some good Japanese lists that did well. and go from there. But Hydreigon's definitely a deck I want to play. It's a fun control style deck, especially because you do some big numbers for the attack, right? A lot of control decks don't usually hit for some big numbers, but 200 is really good. And milling 3 feels pretty good too. It's like you hit heads once on a Wugtrio and those cards get milled. So I like the sound of that. We got the Rotom start, and it looks like we're playing Brute Bonnet. So we're playing a poison deck of some sort. Could this be Cloth with Terapagos, or could this be an evil Loyal 3 deck, or an Ancient Box deck with the capsules? All I know is Rotom V will be able to withstand a turn 1 poison KO. Earthen Vessel, the Earthen Vessel grabs 2 Dark Energies. What's next? There's the Dark Attach. Are they going to poison us with the ability? Yes, they are. Toxic Powder hurts the Rotom V for 10 in between turns. There's the pass of the turn. All right. What can we do here for this turn 1? We got the Nest Ball to kick things off. Nest Ball will get us... Ooh, okay. We'll go Tatsugiri here. I like this because we can retreat into the Tatsugiri, and we can just Ultra Ball away the Counter Catcher and Gengar. And we can set up one little baby Gastly. We can go retreats into our Tatsugiri, and our Tatsugiri can get us an Arven. Oh, it got us nothing. That's rough. Oh, we got an instant charge. So a slower start here. Definitely a slower start here. If we can get... Ooh, we have some really solid options here. As long as Tatsugiri can get us a supporter that we want to see, like an Arven or an Iono, we have some good options. We could Ultra Ball away the Roaring Moon, and we could get like Rare Candy something off of Arven, and we can get Gengar out. All right, Toxic Powder, poisoning our little baby fish, and there's the turn. All right, here we go. Turn 2. What can we do? All right, nice. We got the Arven. Let's start with Attract Customers. An Iono. All right, so we're definitely going to want to play the Arven because their hand isn't crazy good at the moment that we can tell. We can go Rare Candy, Sealstone. Yes, sir. We'll do that. For a Sealstone on the Rotom. We'll go Ultra Ball away Gastly and Roaring Moon. We'll grab our Gengar, and we can just Super Rod the Moon back later if we really, really want it back. Something we'll probably do. And we'll attach return. And we still have Sealstone available. I think we could go... We have the Iono for next turn. I want to set up more Pokemon. I would really like to go Sealstone here. Yeah, I think we go Sealstone so we can start getting a Pidgeot set up. So we'll go ahead and Sealstone for Buddy Poppin'. Because we have Iono for next turn anyways, so we'll set up another Pidgey. And our Gengar is not going to get one shot. And we do want to set up more Gengars. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And one nice thing too is if Roaring Moon has to get manually charged up from the hand energies instead of something like Dark Patch or Professor Sada, if we have 2 Gengars on the board, that means they can't use Frenzy Gouging without the risk of getting knocked out. I've never been attacked by a Brute Bonnet before. That'd be funny. Are they going to go for the Brute Bonnet KO on us? That'd be kind of cool. Kind of different. And we do have Knockout on board because they did attach from hand. So Gengar does swing for Knockout here. So that's pretty great too. So very happy about that. And if we could Iono ourselves into... whatchamacallit? If we could get Unfair Stamp off this Iono, that's huge. And we got it. Nice. So we're going to be able to get them down to 2. There's also a world where we don't Unfair Stamp them, and that way we have the Arven Rare Candy for the next turn. However, I really like the idea of just hitting them with the Unfair Stamp now, setting them down to a 2-card hand rather than a 5-card hand. And now we have the Rare Candies in hand. So now it's just a matter of us drawing into an Ultra Ball or Pidgeot. Do we want to move these energies? We want to be smart about this. They have 0 in discard. We don't want to start charging up their attackers, so we're going to say no. But there's an argument, you know, if they don't have, if they didn't have three energies go into the discard like that, or if we can prevent the energies from going into the discard, that way we can deny Ancient Booster, that way we can deny Professor Sada's Vitality's requirement of having energy in the discard to load up their Pokemon. So now they're going down to a 2-card hand from Unfair Stamp. Fun, fun, fun. Let's see how they bounce back from this. Alright. We got Big Moon, Small Moon, and Cynthia's Ambition. Oh man, that's the perfect card to have after getting knocked out. And why did they play Squawkabilly? What? Why would you play Squawkabilly? That's gonna give us an easy 2-prize KO target right there for the upcoming turn that we have. And there's also a world where we just go for the Roaring Moon that has the energy charged up as well, and just save the Squawk for later, because this Roaring Moon could be an issue if they are able to switch it into the active. All right, we got the non-curse for 20. I like that. So even if they have Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, if we hit them with 2 non-curse, then they're in one-shot range with Tricky Steps. I think we're gonna go for this Moon here on the following turn. Discarding that Moon. So this is just all Moon. This is a full Moon deck. There's a switch card. Okay, so they're coming in. So we're probably just gonna want to swing into this this Moon just to get it off the board for the next turn. 200 damage, and we're gonna go ahead and move your energy to Squawk. All right, nice. We got ourselves Pidgeot, and then we can go Rare Candy. Our Gengar out. Next one, ready to go. Oh, there's a good argument to also attack with Pidgeot at some point too. Just so we can remove that stadium from play. So we're gonna Dark Patch the Gengar, and we're also going to set up this Pidgeot. And then I will be moving 20 from this to that Moon, and we're gonna Tricky Steps for knockout, and we're gonna keep the energy out of the discard pile, or keep it in. We're gonna keep it out of the board, off the board. So here they're not gonna be able to knock us out with this Moon. They'd have to go Dark Patch, Sada, attach, switch cart. Alright, they got the switch cart. If they have Dark Patch, Sada, attach, then they pull off the combo. Can they hit it? Can they hit it? No, they can't. They scoop it up. Alrighty, that was a fun one. Thanks for hanging out with Gengar and I for today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button down below. And if you want to help me hit 50,000 subscribers, feel free to subscribe as well. With that said, click on screen to watch some more Pokemon TCG content. And if not, hopefully I'll catch you around soon.